It's good. How are you guys?
As someone who just played his former team, do you give any tips to Sam Darnold about this week, or you think he's got it covered?
Yeah, I think he's got a great demeanor about him. I think he's got it pretty locked down.
What can you tell us about Cam Akers?
Cam Akers? Um, in my time with him in LA, he was a dangerous finisher of runs. I know that. He's just a violent runner, and so tough to bring down and really strong dude. So been through a lot of stuff, gone through some tough injury stuff, and fought through things, so pretty cool to see kind of some of that stuff that he's done and be able to experience that firsthand. And but yeah, glad he's here.
When you look at the Vikings defense and the way that they create loss of yards, what do you have to be especially aware of?
Yeah, well, you just know you're going to get a lot of different looks, a lot of different pressures and things like that. Guys are going to be, blitzing from all different parts of the field. They got the internals, the externals, and there's a lot of different stuff that they throw at you. So just being on our stuff and knowing that that's a part of the identity of that defense, and be able to anticipate some of that stuff and then be able to react and know that, we're going to anticipate some things. It's going to look one way. You're going to get something else, and you just got to be able to react to it and have a plan, have a counter, and there's a few different things that could happen.
What's the first thing you go for on the Thanksgiving table?
First thing I go for on the Thanksgiving table, I don't know. Probably something boring like turkey. I don't know. That's probably the most boring possible answer. So I guess, but you have to have your protein before you start having all the other stuff. So just go with that.
When you look at the percentage of JSN and the offense and the receiving yards, there's a couple of different ways to look at it. What else has to go right for him to have the success that he is having?
What else has to go right for him to?
Offense, right? Mm-hmm. It's not just him creating these plays. What does this say about the offense in general, right?
Yeah.
It's not just running the show.
No, yeah. But he's making the most of those opportunities. He's doing a really good job. Coming alive in every part of the field. But yeah, it is. It's. I think the best offenses, can do it a lot of different ways, whether it's on the ground, in the screen game, in the pass game, he's doing a great job of making the most of, like I said, making the most of his opportunities, and I don't have much else to say about that.
Can you tell us what Clint Kubiak is like behind the scenes? When we talk to him, he always seems very low key and understated. What's he like behind the scenes?
Yeah, I'd say pretty low key and understated. That's how he is. He says what needs to be said, and as monotonous and slow tone as he can possibly say it. And if you just took a rancher out of Texas and said just go install some plays for us, that's Klint Kubiak.
Do you ever see him get fired up? Does he have an intense side to him?
Yeah, he does. He does. He gets fired up. You can, for a very short amount of time, and he snaps right back into that same character, afterwards. So, but he does. He gets fired up, and he doesn't like bad football, and so isn't going to be okay with those kinds of things. Holds guys to a high standard, but the Klint Kubiak you see up here in front of you guys is the same exact guy that we see.
What's his sense of humor like?
Dry.
What's the difference in playing for a coach that maybe is more animated versus one that's less?
I'm sorry, say it one more time.
What's the difference, or is there a difference between playing with a coordinator, a coach that's more animated versus one that's more dry?
I guess sometimes you're navigating a more animated coach's emotions. It can be a good thing. It can also be a bad thing where you're navigating the waves of a football game, but you're also having to navigate the waves of whoever's communicating to you the play and things like that, and you can feel that energy in and out of the huddle. So it's just another thing that you got be able to traverse through. But in the same way, sometimes those guys bring energy when there needs to be energy, and so I think the difference is the emphasis now is with Clint, you got to bring your own energy. He'll be on you because he'll get on you when you mess up, but we don't want to let it get to that point. And so from the jump, you got to bring your own stuff, and And I think we've done a great job of that, though, offensively with the guys we have.
With Kubiak in 8 months, how many times have you seen him smile or laugh?
Smile or laugh? Oh, he smiles and laughs. It's just a little. You have to look at the corner of his mouth. There's kind of a side smile thing.
Cooper, what would be your advice to a young receiver in terms of dealing with the highs and the lows of the NFL?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think part of it is just the understanding of the way that this league works, and similar to what a DB goes through. Like a DB is like there's an expectation of failure for defensive backs, and knowing that there's going to be like you're going to do everything right, and the receiver's going to catch the ball, and that's just part of it. And so, at receiver, you got to understand, like, hey, there's going to be times that coverage is going to take you away. There's going to be times that the coverage is just not right. There's going to be times that you do everything right, and it was the right coverage, and something else went wrong somewhere else, and you weren't able to get the ball. And so it just comes down to dialing in your process. Be about winning as much as you possibly can. So when the opportunity does present itself, you've done everything you can to be in the right place at the right time, in a place where you can make the play. And so, the guys in this league are just too good. The guys are too good. The D coordinators are too good. That all you can control is your job. Control and be where you are, execute what you're asked to do, and those opportunities will continue to multiply.
One more on Clint, but I've heard people say he's really detail-oriented. It seems like every football coach has to be detail-oriented because there's so much going on. But I guess what makes a coach one coach may be more detail-oriented than another?
I think it's I guess that kind of comes down to like a willingness to have answers for guys. Right? Like it's not good enough to come up here and just make a play and draw a play and say we're going to do this. It's like, well, what if X, Y, and Z happens? What then? What do you want us to do? And so I think that's the thing, is being able to allow us in those chairs to be able to make decisions, because we've been addressed like, hey, these are my rules. This is what I need to get done, and based on whatever's presented, whatever look we get, I know what needs to happen. I think sometimes you can get into a place if you're not being detail oriented. You get up there and it's like, hey, look, this is a look we haven't seen yet. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, and you run things into bad looks and things like that. And I think that's something that Clint, tries to minimize.
Cooper, Jason's obviously playing at a high level right now. You were playing at a very high level during that Super Bowl season with the Rams. How did you stay there, and what have you shared with JSN to kind of help him stay in that level?
Yeah, it kind of goes back to what I had said before about just being the process. Like there's a process to this whole thing, and there were games earlier this year where things weren't going for him early. Like there wasn't a whole lot of production early on in a game, and it's like, hey man, just stay in it because the opportunity's coming. Like don't allow yourself to check out of the game just because the opportunity's not there yet. And he did a great job because third, fourth quarter, those opportunities presented themselves, and he's making those dagger plays that in games for us, and he's done a great job of that. Just continue to be in that space and know there's going to be some lows that come up. There's going to be some places, some times where defenses are doing everything they can to take you away, and you just got to be engaged. You got to continue to be engaged, and that allows you also to find ways to fight through some really tough downs as well. Like, hey, if you're a primary here and the coverage, maybe is trying to take you away, like you can find ways to win in those places still too. And so there's not being discouraged in that regard, and just being able to, like he's done, make the most of his opportunities.
Last question. Anything else, guys?
Awesome. Thank you, guys.